In this video help, I'm going to review with you how to convert between different units for temperature. Keep in mind there are 3 different units for temperature you can use: Fahrenheit, Celsius, and Kelvin. And so in this first problem it's asking me to go from Fahrenheit to Celsius, so I'm going to use the following formula. I know that TF, which is my temperature in Fahrenheit, TF equals 9/5 times Tc, which is my temperature in Celsius, plus 32. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in what I know. So I know that I have 218 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to set that equal to 9/5 times Tc, I don't know what Tc is, plus 32. And so what I need to do is I first need to subtract both sides by 32. Okay. So what I end up getting is that this is going to be 186 equals 9/5 times Tc. And so what I'll need to do now is I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 5/9. Cancel out that, so I just have Tc by itself. You could also just multiply by 5 and then divide by 9. It's the exact same thing. And what you get is that Tc equals 103.33333. Well, if you look at significant figures, here I've got 3 significant figures right here, and therefore that's what I'm going to base my answer off of. So my temperature now is going to be just 103 degrees Celsius, because my last step was multiplication. If it had been addition, then I would base it off of the fewest number of decimal places. Alright, for here, going from Celsius to Kelvin, keep in mind that the formula is that your temperature in Kelvin equals your temperature in Celsius plus 273. So here I know what my temperature in Celsius is. It's 25 degrees Celsius. So plus 273, and so that is going to be 298. Keep in mind no decimal places here, no decimal places here, so I've actually already rounded it, and I'm done. For the next one, I'm going from Kelvin to Fahrenheit. Well, I don't know the relationship directly between Fahrenheit and Kelvin, but I can go from Kelvin to Celsius, then from Celsius into Fahrenheit, so that's what we're going to do. I know my formula for Kelvin to Celsius is this. So I'm first going to find Celsius. So 77 goes in here. That equals my Tc plus 273. And I get negative 196 degrees Celsius. Then I'm going to plug this value in, your Tc in, for the Fahrenheit formula. So I know that my temperature in Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times negative 196 plus 32. Keep in mind the last step that I'm doing is adding this 32, and so my answer is going to round based on decimal places. And so when I do that, I get negative 320.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, I want no decimal places, so this is actually going to round to negative 321 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's my answer. Okay? For the last one, I'm now going from Fahrenheit, body temperature, Fahrenheit, into Kelvin. Well, I'm going to start off with TF equals 9/5 times Tc plus 32. So I'm going to plug in 98.6 here. That equals 9/5 times Tc plus 32. Subtract 32 from both sides. What I end up getting is 66.6 equals 9/5 times Tc. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by 5, divide by 9, and I end up getting 37 degrees Celsius. Now I'm going to take that value and I'm going to plug it into the Kelvin Celsius formula. So I'm going to plug in, I'll show it in a different color. I'm going to plug in here 37, and so when I add that together, what I end up getting is 310 Kelvin. Alright? If I had been following significant figures here, this would have been 37.0, but since this has no decimal places, you would have still ended up with the same answer. So keeping in mind, guys, if you can do it in one step, like going from Fahrenheit to Celsius or Celsius to Kelvin, awesome, but otherwise, if you need to do it in 2 steps, it's definitely doable, as I just showed you in the last 2 problems. And that's it.